And in international news, inflation in China again exceeded the government's target last month, signaling the Chinese central bank could again raise rates, a step that may slow the world's second biggest economy. Inflation for April stood at 5.3%. Food prices even soared 11.5%. That is more than the government's target of 4%. Reining in inflation is a task complicated to achieve in recent months, as labor costs rise and commodity and fuel prices soar. Especially the higher food prices have been a major source of public unhappiness. Still, inflation was lower than the 32-month high of 5.4% hit in March, underlining expectations that price pressures were peaking and would start to ease in the second half of this year. However, high inflation will still remain.
The pressure of rising prices will not disappear. In this situation, we cannot let down our guard, and we must genuinely keep controlling excessively fast product price increases as a priority of our macro control.
Meanwhile, after a full 2 days of talks, China and the United States have reached an agreement on the direction of the Chinese exchange rate policy. The value of the Chinese currency once again was a focal point of the meetings, with the US pressing China to allow its currency to appreciate faster. Both countries declared the meetings a success.
I do think we have a deeper understanding of the viewpoint of the other. I think we have had such an open dialogue on every issue that we have built trust, because we're not keeping any issue under the table or off the agenda. We are talking about the hard issues.
It's fair to say that China and the United States have consensus on the direction of the renminbi exchange rate regime reform. Of course, there are issues where we disagree. China believes the key to reform is to advance the reform of renminbi exchange rate regime and to strengthen renminbi's flexibility. And the view of the United States is that renminbi should keep appreciating and do so at a faster pace.
And over in Europe, Greece was back in the spotlight of the Eurozone debt crisis on Tuesday amid fears it may have to restructure its debt. An EU-IMF team is currently in Athens to see if Greece met the conditions for getting the next crucial tranche of financial aid under its existing bailout deal. Speaking in the European Parliament, European Commissioner for Economic and Monetary Affairs, Olli Rehn, said it was too early for a decision.
It is too early to specify any figure concerning the refinancing or financing and refinancing needs of Greece in 2012, i.e. next year. In fact, that it is precisely the task of our review mission now in Athens to specify and concretize the needs for next year.
The federal Indian government has been asked to give at least 2 years for car manufacturers to comply to new import duty laws surrounding completely knocked down cars, or CKDs. In the budget for the financial year 2011-2012, India's Federal Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee had redefined the meaning of completely knocked down units with an aim to encourage indigenous production of automobiles. As such, the pre-assembled engines, gearboxes and transmissions were kept out of the range of CKD, and these components attract 30% import duty as against an earlier duty of 10%. Patel said he has realized the problems faced by manufacturers because of the sudden change in the policy. He also noted that though it is an issue of the Finance Ministry, car industry players are asking for 2 years' time to implement the new reforms.
In the interim period, because of the sudden change of the policy, some of the manufacturers are facing difficulties to indigenize in the time frame which has been given. So there is a request from the industry for at least about 2 years or so before they are able to build those facilities and to be able to build more indigenization into their product.
That's it for international business today. Before we head back to news, let's take a quick look at the Asian equity, commodity and the currency markets. And after that, Mona Nasser is back with the news.